Westside.
Yo, I wanted to show you guys my Pox Walkers.
My Pox Walkers.
Chaotic, gory, fuck-faced, ugly douchebags from the deepest crevices of Nurgle's armpits. Pox Walkers. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few. Painted these over the last 2 days. Did about 20. Or exactly 20. I have 40 more to do. But just a practice run to see what I can do. I mixed some thick medium with some shades from Games Workshop, from Citadel I should say. I used the Bilton green with what's the name? Let me check. With the yellow. I think it's called Cassandora Yellow or something. I can't find the bottle right now, but and that gives this really nice goopy toxic texture. And then before I put it on, I painted it yellow. I used this very old school yellow I had, golden yellow. Paint the base and then put this goop on top just a little bit so it hardens in a day. If you use too much it'll go cloudy, but if you do it real thin, you'll have some nice bubbles in there, like it's active and good transparency. So that's nice. I also use that mixture to do some gore and blood effects on very sparingly though, here on the back. Makes it look a little wetter than just putting paint and washes on there. So let's see, I also did some conversions because I really didn't want to have them look all the same. So this guy has an officer's cap from Imperial Guard on his face, and he has the hammer from that should go with the guy in the lab coat. But did a couple of quick snips and used some plastic cement, and then it's fairly tight, doesn't come off. Didn't need to pin it. It's just sturdy. I took the gas mask off our other unit because this man had a tank but he had no gas mask, so did all the maggots. And here you can see that thick medium mixed with Carberg, Scarlet, Carberg, Carroburg, I don't know how to pronounce it. Mixed with a little bit of pure red from Army Painter. Gives a nice blood effect. I made my own Typhus corrosion again with chinchilla dust. Some brown paint mixed with chinchilla dust, and then put it over a metallic surface. And it looks like that, and then you have to dry brush some oranges into that. This is what it looks like. Just dust with paint. And that's also the basing material. It goes rock hard. It's really nice. You don't even have to seal it, but I gave it a lick of matte varnish, just to be sure. I really like the goopiness on the boot. Like he's really standing in a toxic gunk. Okay, who's next? This dude. Okay. Ha. So, gave this guy a green stuff arm. Some procreate tentacles coming out right here. Make him look more interesting. See, that's the gas mask I used on this dude here. It was just hanging on one of these other guys, and I clipped it off, put it on his face, made him look awesome. Amazeballs. Here's another one. I really like using gloss varnish on them because it makes them look extra wet, extra pussy, oozy. Makes it all so much dirtier. Slimy, like you don't want to touch these infested maggoty motherfuckers. And I really like it when you use the thick medium that is a little bit translucent, so if you put it over something you still see that I painted it beneath. Like it's like a very thick, glazy kind of effect. It's really bloody. There's a little bit too much light here now, so it's probably hard to see with the reflection, but it looks moist and infected and nasty. Just super gory. He got the same stuff on his wrench here. Also did a little bit of corrosion on there. Dry brushed the orange into it. And for orange I'm just mixing that golden yellow with the pure red, because then you can make a whole lot of gradients of orange. And for the Typhus corrosion I use Vallejo leather brown. So these are my
Pox Walkers.
This dude has a head from the Frostgrave Cultists set, which is a nice fit, I think. And I took his hammer off and I gave him one of the Chaos Cultists clubs with spikes. So let me see if I have another special one in here. He also has a head from the cultist range from Frostgrave. I left his original weapon in hand. Like these guys, basically the same one, but you can see I took off a spike and gave him a different weapon, a different head, and you hardly notice that it's the same guy. From the back they look a lot alike, but from up top they're totally different profile. From the front, different attitude. Just the angle of the head alone does wonders. So posable heads are really cool. You can also, a lot of these Pox Walkers, if you're careful, you can just chop off the head right there and with a little bit of green stuff or milliput or procreate, you can reposition the head, which also goes a long way. And these arms are less posable, but what you can do, you can make a cut here and then switch it, have the weapon go forward if you want. Because I have 40 more Pox Walkers coming, I have to keep thinking about the things that I'll do to them just to mix it up. Here this guy has one of those ugly second generation Space Marine biker heads from before Games Workshop learned how to sculpt. Super ugly square face, but I think it's funny on a zombie like thing. So what I did is all these guys, I just primed them white with a primer from a very cheap spray can. And then I went to town on them with diluted purple ink, with Biltan green, with Agrax Urchin, a little bit of Nuln, a little bit of watered down pure red. And I appreciated them. And after that I gave them a dry brush. Basically faded everything down. And it was really cool because then you can see all these, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, let me try. You can see all these colors beneath his skin, right? Like he's rotting under the skin, which is cool. And if you put some more like selective washes on there, a little bit of gore and blood, it looks so sweet. Almost too dirty to touch. Yeah, I think that's it. If you have a comment about how this is painted, if you feel like you could have done a better job and you want to give me some tips, you're welcome. Just leave a comment. If you actually like what I did and you want to update from time to time, then hit subscribe and give me a like. I would be honored. That would be so nice. Thanks for your time, and yeah, I'll just keep you guys posted with all of my updates. And I'm very active, so if you're thinking about joining the Death Guard or playing Templars or playing Astra Militarum, then this channel is for you, because I have a couple of armies. I love working, making conversions, creating weird paint schemes. I love doing that. So see you later. Hope you have a wonderful night, and as always,
West Side.